Krishna. Welcome everyone to our ŚrīMAD Bhāgavatam class. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Ajnānatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. We are continuing our discussion from ŚrīMAD Bhāgavatam. We are on Canto 9. And yesterday we discussed many wonderful stories. This canto is called as Ishanukatha, describes the wonderful pastimes of the great devoted kings, Raja Rishis. And we heard yesterday there are two lines, two lineages, Surya Vamsha and Chandra Vamsha. Lord Ram appeared in Chandra Vamsha. So after describing about Vivaswan, who is sun god, son of Vivaswan, that is Shraddha Dev, that is the Manu. Then his lineage is described. 12th chapter will start today. In 12th chapter, Śukadeva Gosvāmī describes the dynasty of son of Lord Rāmacandra, that is Kusha. And so many kings are described in this. One of the kings in the line of Kusha is Maru. And this Maru is a very special person. Maru, he has perfected his mystic yoga, Ashtanga yoga, and he still lives in Kalāpa-grāma. And this Kalāpa-grāma, it is the place from where Maru will start the next Satya-yuga, and he will start Chandra Vamsha in the next Satya-yuga. So at the end of Kali-yuga, he will revive the Sun dynasty by begetting a son, and he will start the Chandra Vamsha in the next Satya-yuga. Śukadeva Gosvāmī says all the kings in the Ikshvaku dynasty has passed away so far, whatever he described till Parikshit. And then he describes kings of the future. And that's how the 12th chapter ends. 13th chapter is dynasty of Maharaj Nimi. So King Nimi, he was one of the great kings. He's son of Ikshvaku, one of the sons of Ikshvaku. So this King Nimi, he began a big sacrifice. And Vasiṣṭha, he requested Vasiṣṭha that you please become the priest for my sacrifice. Vasiṣṭha, he said, Indra had already invited me to become a priest at his sacrifice. So just wait for some time. I'll finish that yajna and I'll come back. King Nimi, he was a very great, devoted, self-realized soul. He understood the value of time. He thought, this time is passing. Life is very short. I should not wait for this sacrifice. He called other priests. He performed this sacrifice. In the meantime, Vasiṣṭha, he came back. He saw that Nimi Maharaj, he has done the sacrifice. He became really angry. He cursed Nimi that this material body of yours will fall down. That means you leave this material body. Nimi became angry on Vasiṣṭha. He cursed Vasiṣṭha. He said, you are greedy of wealth. You went to Indra because you were thinking that you will get more remuneration. Your body will also fall down. So as a result of that, Vasiṣṭha, he left his body. Then yesterday we heard from the semen of Mitra and Varuna, Vasiṣṭha was born again. The body of Nimi was preserved in various herbs and fragrant substances at the end of Satya-yuga. Now the Satya-yuga, for the whole Satya-yuga, this body was preserved. At the end of Satya-yuga, the priests, they thought that Nimi was a very, very great self-realized soul. We should bring him back to life. So they prayed to Devatas. And Devatas, they agreed that, okay, we can bring him back to a body. The soul is there, we'll give him a body again. Nimi, he said, I don't want to get imprisoned in material body again. He was a very self-realized soul. He said, for a devotee, material body is insignificant. Whether he has a body or he doesn't have, doesn't matter. Prabhupada writes that Nimi Maharaj did not want to accept material body because he thought that it is a cause of bondage. He was seeing Krishna everywhere. What's the use of material bodies? Thavara jangama dekhe na dekhe Tārā murti sarvatra hoye nija ishtadeva spurti. He was seeing Krishna everywhere. Prabhupada writes, for a devotee, there is no pain or pleasure in this material world. He is taking pleasure only in Krishna. So Nimi Maharaj said, I don't want to accept material body. Please allow me to stay like this only. This material body is a source of lamentation, anchoring, distress. But the Brahmanas requested that, no, we have to revive this body of, revive Nimi Maharaj. We have to give him body. So now there are two opinions. Nimi says, I don't want. Brahmanas says, you have to accept. So Devatas, they made a compromise. Win-win situation. They said, okay, let Nimi Maharaj not have material body. Let him live in spiritual body. And he can manifest and unmanifest as per his wish. If he wants to manifest in front of people, he can do that. So thereafter, the sages, they churned the body of Nimi. And from the body of Nimi, a son was born. This son was born in very unusual way by churning the body. That's why he was called as Mithilā. And he was born from the dead body of the father. Therefore, he was called as Vaideha. Nimi Maharaj is called Videha. He has no body. And his son is called as Vaideha. And he is also called as Janaka. This Janaka is not the father of Sita. One of the kings in the dynasty of Janaka. Many kings came in between. One of the kings was Śrīradhvaja. And Śrīradhvaja is the Janaka, which we hear about. So Janaka is a title given to, all the many kings. So Śrīradhvaja, he found Mother Sita as he was plowing the field. And that is Mithilā. All the kings of this dynasty, they were very self-realized, great personalities. So this is the end of the description of Surya Vamsha. Now, Śukadeva Gosvāmī starts the description of Chandra Vamsha. Again, he describes from Garbhodaksha Vishnu, Brahmaji appeared. From Brahmaji, Atri Muni appeared. And we heard in the 4th canto, Atri Muni, he desired a son like the Supreme Lord. And he prayed He called for supreme, that all three, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh appeared, and from Brahmaji, he got Somadev. Here, Śukadeva Gosvāmī gives some more details. So how he appeared from Atri? So Atri, when he saw Brahma, he was so happy. He had tears of joy. And with those tears, he impregnated Anusuya. And that's how Somadev was born. He was made the director of all the herbs and the plants. Soma, he was such a powerful king. He became proud of his strength. And pride intoxicates. He was so puffed up that he kidnapped the wife of his guru Brihaspati. Her name was Tārā. And Brihaspati, he requested her again and again that you have to return my wife. But the Soma, he was so puffed up, he said, I am not returning. There was a fight between Somadev and Brihaspati. So now, Brihaspati and Shukracharya, they are enemies. Shukracharya sided with Somadev. And because Shukracharya sided with Somadev, all the demons sided with Somadev. All the devtas, they are on the side of Brihaspati. All the demons are on the side of Somadev. Big fight started. Indra and all the devtas, they are on the side of Brihaspati. Lord Shiva, he is also fighting on the side of Brihaspati. He is there on the side of Brihaspati. Because Brihaspati's father, Angira, he gave some spiritual knowledge to Lord Shiva. Huge fight started. In the midst of all this, Brahmaji came to know. He came there. He chastised Soma. What are you doing? Stop this fight. And then he told that you have to return this wife of your guru. But by that time, she was pregnant. Brihaspati, he told Tārā, oh, foolish women, your womb was meant to be impregnated by me. Now deliver this child. So Tārā became afraid of the curse. She delivered the child. And this child was so beautiful, effulgent. As soon as Brihaspati and Soma saw this child, they both wanted to own this child. Again, fight started. So Brahmaji, he told Tārā, you please tell, whose wife is this? And she was so very ashamed to tell in front of everyone. So Brahma took Tārā to a secluded place and asked her. And she said, this is son of Soma. They were so very happy to get this child. And this child was very intelligent, very powerful. His name was given Budha, another graha. And we heard the story of Budha in the 4th canto. Budha, he was roaming in the forest of Ilavrat. He found Ila. And he married Ila. And from Ila came Purūravā. Now, Purūravā is a very, very important personality. Purūravā, he was so powerful, beautiful, full of all the opulences. He had wonderful behavior, magnanimous, wealth, fame. Narad Muni glorified Purūravā, an earthly king, in the assembly of heaven, Indra. Urvashi became attracted to Purūravā. Urvashi came down. She proposed to Purūravā. And Purūravā also, when he saw Urvashi is the best of the Apsaras. And he became attracted to Urvashi. And he said, oh, beautiful women, please come sit here. What can I do for you? And Urvashi was also attracted. Ultimately, they both got married. Purūravā proposed. Urvashi said, I'll marry you, but on 3 conditions. I have fallen from heaven. So Urvashi, she was cursed by Mitra and Varuna for some reasons. And that's why she had acquired humanly qualities. and she became attracted to Purūravā. She said, I have come from heaven, and these two lambs, they have also fallen from heaven. I have three conditions. You have to protect these lamps, and I'll eat only preparations made in pure ghee, and I should not see you naked anytime apart from when we are having sex. Purūravā said, all your conditions are agreed. Who will not agree to your proposal? Purūravā and Urvashi got married. They enjoyed for many, many years. And who is getting disturbed? Indra. Because Urvashi is not there in the heaven. So he thinks, Arey, I want Urvashi. Indra sent Gandharvas. Please get Urvashi back. Gandharvas came. Purūravā was enjoying with Urvashi at night. Gandharvas, they stole the two lambs, and Urvashi started crying that, oh, just see, at midnight, these people have stolen my lambs, they are my sons. And Purūravā, he's still there in the bed. She started condemning, oh, what unworthy husband you are, he is like a eunuch, he can't save my sons. Purūravā became so angry. He immediately got up, started chasing Gandharvas without clothing. Gandharvas, they illuminated all the directions. And Urvashi saw Purūravā naked, she left. Purūravā, although he enjoyed for so many years, but still his desire was not satisfied. When we hear all these stories, we may see that how these kings are so very lusty, it seems. They have such desire to enjoy. We heard the story of Shaubhari Muni. He enjoyed with 50 wives, princesses. Here Purūravā, he enjoyed for so many years, but still is not satisfied. We should not judge a person based on a certain instance in his or her life. We heard in the third canto when Brahmaji told Narad Muni that it is very difficult to understand Supreme Lord, but there are many personalities who understand, who have realized Krishna. And in that list, Shaubhari Muni is there, Purūravā is there, Yayati is there. We'll hear the story of Yayati also today. So as it is said, every saint has a past, every sinner has a future. So we should never judge these personalities. They are there to teach us a lesson. That however you try to enjoy in this world, no satisfaction comes. Hiranyakashipu is another example. Saittam nirjit kaku bekarat vishayan priyan yathopajosham bunjano natripyat ajitendriya. He had everything, still he was not satisfied. Purūravā, he started traveling like a madman, searching for Urvashi. After 1 year, once he saw Urvashi at Kurukshetra, he became so happy. He begged Urvashi, please stay with me. Oh, cruel wife, please stay with me. I have not yet satisfied my desires. You should not give me up. Urvashi, she was really upset seeing the attachment of Purūravā. She spoke so strongly about the lower nature of a woman, just to make him detached. Purūravā was so obsessed, so overcome with lust. No instructions enlightened him. Ultimately, Urvashi said, okay, you can enjoy with me as a husband once a year for one night. Purūravā, then he was a little pacified. Urvashi was then pregnant. Then Purūravā, he was again searching for Urvashi. She left. She told Purūravā, please worship Gandharvas. They will deliver me to you. He worshipped Gandharvas. Gandharvas gave him another girl, Agnisthali, who looked like Urvashi, but when he was about to enjoy with her, he realized that she's not Urvashi. He left her, started searching for Urvashi again. He could not find. Came back to this place of Agnisthali. Chakravarti Thakur writes that Agnisthali means it is a vessel of sacrifice. Purūravā was so obsessed with Urvashi that he thought she is a girl. She's a lady. Purūravā started meditating on Urvashi. By that time, Satya-yuga ended. Treta-yuga began, and Treta-yuga was a time of sacrifices. Purūravā started a sacrifice. And by that sacrifice, karma-kandiya sacrifice, materialistic sacrifice, he was then promoted to the planets of Gandharva. He became Gandharva. Purūravā, he had many sons. Now the interesting part starts. The story, main, very wonderful stories will be coming. We will hear the names of so many kings, and devotees may think that itne sare naam, bapre. Śukadeva Gosvāmī describes that just by hearing the names of these kings, we are getting purified. Even if we are not remembering anything, just names of these kings are purifying because they are great devotees of the Lord. Purūravā, he had 7 sons, and 15th chapter describes 6 of these sons. His sons were, the eldest of the son was Ayu. His other sons were Shratayu, Shrutayu, Satyayu, Raya, Vijaya, and Jaya. So all the other sons are described in 15th chapter. One of the sons of Purūravā is Vijaya. Vijaya's son is Bhima. In the dynasty of Bhima, there was a great king. His name was Gadhi. Very great personality, Gadhi. Who is Gadhi? He is the father of Vishwamitra and Satyavati. This Satyavati, she married to great sage Jamadagni. And who is Jamadagni? He is the father of Purūravā. So that's how the story of Purūravā starts. So Vishwamitra, he gave birth to, in his dynasty, he had 101 sons, and he also adopted another son. His name was Shunashepa. We heard the story of Shunashepa in the story of Harishchandra. I'll not repeat it. Gadhi's daughter was Satyavati. Satyavati married Jamadagni. They had Purūravā. And this Satyavati, he was married to Ruchika. Ruchika was another, Satyavati's son was Jamadagni, and Jamadagni's son was Purūravā. Satyavati married Ruchika. So Ruchika, he was a very great sage. When Ruchika, he wanted to marry Satyavati. Satyavati, she is a daughter of a king, Gadhi's daughter. So Gadhi, he didn't want to give his daughter to an ordinary sage. Ruchika was an ordinary sage. Gadhi made a request. I will marry my daughter to somebody who can give me dowry, because in those times, Kshatriyas, if they would marry, the groom's side would give dowry to the bride. And in dowry, I want 1,000 horses. And one ear of those horses should be white, other should be black. So he thought, such horses nobody can get. 1,000 shining white horses. Ruchika understood the mind of Gadhi. He went to Varunadev, he brought the 1,000 horses. And that's how Ruchika was married to Satyavati. Now, Ruchika's wife, Satyavati, she wanted a son. And Ruchika's mother-in-law, that means Gadhi's wife, she also desired a son. So Ruchika, he performed sacrifice for both of them. So Gadhi's wife is a Kshatrani. So he chanted Kshatriya mantra for Gadhi's wife. And his wife is now Brahmani. So he chanted a Brahmana mantra for his wife, so that both of them get Kshatriya son and Brahman son. Gadhi's wife, she thought इसने अपनी पत्नी के लिए अच्छा वाला मंत्र बोला होगा. So what she did, she requested Satyavati, can you please exchange the offerings? So they were about to drink some payasam, some offerings which was made. So they exchanged it. As a result of that, Richika, when he came to know, he became really angry. He told his wife, your son will be a very fierce Kshatriya and your brother will be best of the Brahman. Satyavati became very sad. Please do something, forgive me. So Richika said, okay, your son will be a great Brahman, but your grandson will be a fierce Kshatriya. So that's how Richika's and Satyavati's son is Jamadagni. And Jamadagni's son became Parshuram. Jamadagni married Renuka, and from them they had Parshuram. Many sons. Parshuram was the youngest. Parshuram, Śukadeva Gosvāmī says, he is the incarnation of Lord Vasudeva. He exterminated Kshatriya race for 21 times because Kshatriyas, they were deviating from the principles of dharma. They were too proud. They were not following dharmic principles. They were disrespecting Brahmanas. They were covered by passion and ignorance. They actually became burden on earth. So Parshuram, he destroyed the Kshatriya race. Parikshit asked about what was the offense of these Kshatriyas? Why Parshuram became so angry on Kshatriyas? What was the exact mistake they did? Why Parshuram annihilated them repeatedly? Now Śukadeva Gosvāmī starts the story. One of the kings in the history was Kartivirya Arjuna. Kartivirya Arjuna's story will be described in some time. Kartivirya Arjuna, he was a very, very powerful king. He is the king of Hayahaya. Hayahaya is one of the sons in the dynasty of Yadu. So this Kartivirya Arjuna, he had 1,000 arms. And one day he went to the Narmada river, and with his 1,000 arms, he stopped the flow of Narmada river. On the other side of Narmada river, Ravana was doing his Gayatri, and he had his camp. That camp was flooded by the water of Narmada. Ravana became angry, attacked Kartivirya Arjuna, but Kartivirya Arjuna was so powerful. He arrested Ravana and then casually left him, released him. That's how powerful Kartivirya Arjuna was. One time, he went to the forest, and there he found Jamadagni. He came to Jamadagni's residence. Jamadagni welcomed this Kartivirya Arjuna very nicely and provided all the facilities, nice food stuff. Kartivirya Arjuna was surprised. Then he came to know that Jamadagni has a Kamdhenu cow. Jamadagni, he would get all the facilities, all the milk and everything for sacrifices from this cow. Kartivirya said, I want this cow. Actually, his name is Arjun. So his father is Kritavirya. That's why he's called as Kartivirya Arjun. So Jamadagni said, I get all my necessities from this cow. Kartivirya Arjun, he became so proud and arrogant and envious. He forcibly took away the cow. Parshuram came back. He came to know. He went with an axe, his famous axe, and he started killing all the Kshatriyas in the dynasty of Kartivirya Arjuna. Kartivirya Arjuna became so angry, he sent 17 Akshauhini divisions. In Mahabharata, there were 18. He sent 17, all equipped with clubs, arrows, different weapons. Parshuram alone annihilated all the 17 Akshauhini armies. Parshuram, Kartivirya Arjuna, when he saw that all his armies annihilated, he personally came. He had 1,000 arms. With his 1,000 arms, he picked up 500 bows and he shot arrows from 500 bows. Parshuram, with one bow and arrow, he destroyed all the 500 bows of Kartivirya Arjuna. Then Kartivirya Arjuna started uprooting trees and hills. Parshuram destroyed everything. And ultimately, Parshuram cuts off the head of Kartivirya Arjuna. Kartivirya had 10,000 sons. They all fled in fear. Parshuram brought the cow back. Prabhupada writes, one may possess unusual opulence, but if he becomes puffed up and acts whimsically, then he offends great personalities like Kartivirya Arjuna offended Jamadagni. Ayu Shriyo Yasho Dharma Lokan Ashisha Evacha Hanti Shreyamsi Sarvani Pumso Mahad Atikrama. When great souls are offended, one's life, wealth, fame, religious principles, auspiciousness, they all go away from his life, from their life. So therefore, we have to be careful not to offend the great personalities, Vaishnavas. In devotional service, as we practice and we advance, we may become senior, we may get so much respect, but we should be really careful not to get puffed up. Otherwise, Shrine Punyam, it is like Punar Mushik Bhava. Again, we'll lose everything. So Parshuram came back, Jamadagni, when he came to know that, okay, you killed king. Jamadagni was not happy. He chastised, he said, you should not have done that. King is the embodiment of religious principles. You have to atone for your sin. Go and do tapasya. Go on pilgrimage. Jamadagni, he glorifies the principle of forgiveness. Forgiveness pleases the Supreme Lord Hari. Prabhupada writes, different people become beautiful by different ways. A cuckoo, although it's black, she is beautiful because of her voice. A woman, she is beautiful not by the external beauty, but by chastity to her husband. Brahmana is beautiful by the quality of forgiveness. Kshatriya is beautiful by the quality of heroism. An ugly person, he can become beautiful if he has good education. So therefore, please go on pilgrimage and purify yourself. Parshuram, he went on a pilgrimage for 1 year. He came back. Meanwhile, when he returned one day, Renuka, mother of Parshuram, she went to the forest to collect some flowers and some fruits for the sacrifice of Jamadagni. That time there was a great Gandharva. His name is Chitraratha. Chitraratha means he had a very, very attractive chariot. He was with his Apsaras and Gandharva women enjoying. Renuka, she became somewhat inclined towards him and desired to see that chariot. But then after some time she realized, oh, my husband will become angry, he'll curse me. She came back. But Jamadagni could understand that there was some deviation in the mind. That was the standard in previous ages. Thank God it's not there in Kali-yuga. Whatever good things we do, we get the result. And whatever bad things we think, we don't get the result. Nanudveshti kalim samrat saranga iva sarabhuk kushalanyashu siddhanti netarani kritaniyat. Parikshit Maharaj didn't kill Kali-yuga because Kali-yuga has this quality. You do something good, you will get the result. You think bad, you will not get the result. Jamadagni, he understood. Although this Renuka was faultless, she was very chaste woman. Jamadagni became unnecessarily angry. He told his sons, kill this sinful woman. But the sons, they didn't carry out the order. He told Parshuram, you kill this, you kill your brothers also because they didn't follow my order, and you kill this sinful lady, Renuka. Parshuram, he was very much aware of the power of his father. He thought, if I'll please my father and follow what he's saying, after the order is executed, I will revive my mother and sons back, because Jamadagni can do that. So Parshuram, he cuts off the head of Renuka and all the sons. Jamadagni became pleased. Please ask for a benediction. Parshuram asks, let my mother and brothers live again, and they may not remember that I killed them. Jamadagni was so very happy. He revived all of them back. One day, these 10,000 sons of Kartivir Arjun, they are still angry. Parshuram was not there. They came to the ashram of Jamadagni, and Jamadagni was doing tapasya, sacrifice. They arrested Jamadagni. They were about to cut the head of Jamadagni. Renuka pleaded, he's a very nice Brahmana, please don't kill him. They didn't listen. Cruel way, they cut off the head of Jamadagni and took the head away. After some time, Parshuram came back. He understood what happened. He became so angry. Now, Parshuram starts his extermination. He starts destroying Kshatriyas all over the world. All the Kshatriyas who were deviated, proud of their power, 21 times he annihilated all the Kshatriyas. The battlefield was full of blood. There were rivers of blood. All the limbs of the Kshatriyas were floating in those river of blood. That blood created a lake called as Samanta Panchak. 9 lakes. He created 9 lakes at the place Samanta Panchak. Then after this, he retired. He went, and before that, he actually brought his father back to life. He got the head of his father and did his sacrifice, brought Jamadagni back to life. Jamadagni is still one of the Saptarishis. Parshuram, he went to do tapasya, and he still lives in Mandar mountain. He gave up his propensities of killing. Parshuram, he will be the one of the foremost sages, 7 sages in the next Manvantara. Now we have 7 sages, Saptarishis: Kashyapa, Atri, Vasiṣṭha, Vishwamitra, Gautam, Jamadagni, and Bharadwaj. These are the Saptarishis. In the next Manvantar, as we have heard in every Manvantar, the government changes, the 6 personalities, they all change. Manu changes, the primary devatas change, Manuputras change, Indra changes, the Saptarishis change, and the Manvantar avatar changes. The next Manvantar, Parshuram will become the Saptarishi. So in this way, the story of Parshuram is described. Now, Śukadeva Gosvāmī continues the story. So we heard till Gadhi. So Gadhi's son is another very... So Gadhi's daughter is Satyavati. From Satyavati, ultimately Parshuram was born. Now Gadhi's son is Vishwamitra. And Vishwamitra's story is described in this chapter. Vishwamitra had 101 sons, and he also adopted another son called Shunashepa. We heard the story, Harishchandra, he wanted a son, and he prayed to Varuna that please give me a son, I will do a sacrifice with that son only and please you. But when son was born, he didn't sacrifice his son, he became attached to his son, his name was Rohit. But when Rohit came to know that this is what is going on, they want to kill me, he ran away. Then Indra, he helped him. After a few years, he came back. And then he brought one of the sons of another person, Ajigartha. His name was Shunashepa. And he gave to Harishchandra. So who is this Shunashepa? So Shunashepa is one of the sons of Ajigartha. And Ajigartha had many sons, some younger, some older. But this Shunashepa was the middle son. And he was not so much attached to his middle son. So therefore, he sold his middle son to Rohit. So Rohit asked for a son, for a man sacrifice. So Shunashepa, he was really a learned, self-realized personality. When he came to know that he is about to be killed in the sacrifice, he prayed to Devatas. And Devatas, they were pleased. They gave benediction and they protected Shunashepa. And Vishwamitra, he had many sons, but he accepted Shunashepa as his eldest son. And because he was protected by Devatas, he was named as Devarat. Just like Parikshit is Vishnurat, protected by Lord Vishnu. Tasman namna Vishnurata iti loke bhavishyati nasandeho mahabaho mahabhagavato mahan. Parikshit, Shunashepa is called as Devarat. So that is the story of Shunashepa. In the dynasty of Shunashepa, many other kings came. 17th chapter. Now the four sons of Ayu, four sons are described. Purūravā had 5 sons. 4 sons are described. 5th son is Ayu. Now in the 17th chapter, the descendants of Ayu are described. Ayu, he had 5 sons. Nahusha, Kshatravaridha, Raji, Rabha, and Anena. Nahusha is a special personality. He describes about the dynasty of other 4 sons, Kshatravaridha, Raji, Rabha, and Anena. And then in the next chapter, he describes the dynasty of Nahusha. Nahusha is a great king. He was very powerful. He had 6 sons, Yati, Yayati, Samyati, Ayati, Viyati, and Kriti. So Yayati story is about to come now. So this Nahusha, he had these 6 sons. He was so religious, so powerful. We had heard in the 6th canto the story of Vritrasur and Vishwarupa. When Vishwarupa was killed, Indra became afflicted by sinful reactions. To protect him from sinful reactions, he did tapasya, he distributed the sins. And then when Vritrasur was killed, he ran because the sin personified was chasing him. He hid himself in the lotus stem of Manasarovar lake for 1 year. That time nobody was there to rule the heaven. Nahusha was called that time to rule heaven. And Nahusha, when he was ruling heaven, he became so proud and intoxicated by the wealth and the opulence. He thought this entire kingdom is mine. So wife of Indra, Shachi, is also mine. He went and proposed, Shachi, you should enjoy with me. Shachi, she was so disgusted. She said, I will satisfy you if you come on a chariot, which is driven by 7 sages. Nahusha he was so mad. He didn't realize what is happening. He said, okay. He engaged the Saptarishis to carry his palanquin. And he was so restless. He was shouting and telling, go faster, faster, Sarpa, Sarpa. And he kicked Vasiṣṭha. Vasiṣṭha became so angry. He cursed that you are telling us Sarpa, Sarpa, you become Sarpa. So Nahusha became Sarpa. So that's the story of Nahusha. So Yayati, his story starts now. So Yayati, he was the leader of all the other sons. He was the prime king. He was enthroned. Yayati married Devayani, who is daughter of Shukracharya, a Brahmana. He also married Śharmisṭha, who was a daughter of a demon king, Vrishiparava. Immediately, Parikshit Maharaj has had a doubt. How is it that Yayati, he did a pratilom marriage? What is Anulom? Anulom Vilom wo wala nahi, pranayam wala nahi. Anulom marriage means when the groom is of higher caste and the bride is either of the same caste or of the lower caste. That is Anulom marriage, favorable. Pratilo means, for example, if a Brahmana is marrying a Kshatriya wife, that is okay. Brahmana is a higher caste. Pratilo means the groom is of a lower caste and bride is of a higher caste. If a Brahmani marries a Kshatriya, that is Pratilom. So here, Yayati is marrying Devayani. Devayani is a Brahmani. She is a daughter of Shukracharya, Brahman. Yayati is a Kshatriya. So Parikshit Maharaj immediately asks, ऐसा कैसे हो गया? Śukadeva Gosvāmī starts the story. Devayani and Śharmisṭha, they were friends. Śharmisṭha, she was a daughter of king. She was innocent, but she was hot-tempered. She would become angry very easily. One day, they went and they were playing in a garden. Then they all entered a lake, kept aside all their clothes on the bank. They were enjoying in the water, sporting. Lord Shiva walked by, passed from that place with Mother Parvati on Nandi. All these girls became ashamed. They had no clothes on. They quickly came out and started putting on their clothes, and by mistake, Śharmisṭha, she put on the clothes of Devayani. And Devayani became so angry. She said, just see the action of this maid servant, Śharmisṭha. These Kshatriyas, they are like maid servants. They are like servants. She has disregarded all the Vedic etiquettes and she has put on my clothes. The Brahmanas are created by the universe, created from the mouth of Supreme Lord. In the Virata Rupa, Brahmanas are the mouth, Kshatriyas are the hands. They are worshipable even by Devtas. And this lady, she is the daughter of a demon. She is so proud. She has put my dress. It is just like Shudra taking the Vedic knowledge. And Devayani also, Śharmisṭha also became angry. She said, she was really angry, breathing like serpent. She said, just see these beggars, you beggar, you boast without knowing your position. All of you stand at our doorsteps for your subsistence. Full fighting, verbal fight. Devayani, Śharmisṭha, and she became so angry. She threw Devayani in a well and threw her clothes also. Now Devayani is lying in this well naked. Śharmisṭha went home. She told everything to her father. Meanwhile, Yayati was roaming in this forest. That is all providence. How otherwise, in a huge forest, how somebody will arrive at the same place where this Devyani is in the well? So she's shouting for help, and Yayati he sees Devyani naked, he throws up her cloth, and then gives his hand, pulls Devyani out of the well. Devyani, she said, "Oh, great personality, you have by accepting my hand, you have accepted me as your married wife." In previous times, that was the case. If a woman is touched by somebody, that means she's married to that person. No one else will touch. It is providence that you have come. Let me not be touched by others. Earlier times, I was cursed by a Brahmana to have a Kshatriya husband. There is another story. I'll not go into that. So therefore, although Yayati, he did not like this because it was Pratilom marriage. But seeing the beauty of Devyani, he agreed. Now Yayati, they married. By chanting mantras, they married. Yayati now went to his place. Devyani went to her place. And she told Shukracharya what Sharmishtha did to her. Shukracharya became so angry. And Sharmishtha also told her father what happened. Vrishaparva understood great mistake she has done. Shukracharya will come, he will curse me, he will destroy our dynasty, he'll leave, he'll not remain our guru. So Vrishaparva, he came, he fell at the feet of Shukracharya and he begged forgiveness. Shukracharya said, "You have to marry your daughter." He said, "We will do whatever Devyani wants." So Vrishaparva said, "Okay." Devyani said, "Send your daughter as maid servant. I am now married to Yayati, and I want Sharmishtha to become my slave." Vrishaparva could not do anything. He sent his daughter. Otherwise, he knew that Shukracharya can destroy his dynasty. So Sharmishtha served Devyani like a slave. Shukracharya, he warned Yayati, never lie down with Sharmishtha. Because Kshatriyas, they can have children from the maid servants also. After some time, Yayati gave children to Devayani, Yadu and Turvasu. They were the sons of Devayani. Sharmishtha approached and begged for a child. And if a Kshatriya is approached by a woman, he cannot refuse. He thought maybe it is the will of the providence. He gave 3 sons to Sharmishtha, Druhyu, Anu, and Puru. And Shukracharya, when Devyani came to know this, she complained to Shukracharya. Shukracharya, he cursed Yayati that you will lose your youth. And you will become old, invalid. Yayati, he said, "Oh, great sage, I have not yet satisfied my lusty desires with your daughter." So he's saying, your daughter will also not be able to satisfy her desires. Please do something. Shukracharya said, "Okay, if you can exchange your old age with somebody, if somebody can give his youth to you." Now, who will give youth to somebody and take old age? Yayati, he goes to his sons. Eldest son is Yadu. So Yadu and Turvasu, they are the sons of Devayani. Druhyu, Anu, and Puru, they are the sons of Sharmishtha. He goes to Yadu. Yadu says, "Sorry, father. I have my desires not fulfilled. I can't give you my youth." Actually, Why Yadu refused? Yadu was a very great self-realized devotee of the Lord. Why he refused? It is not for sense enjoyment. He was a Trikalagya. He knew that Supreme Lord is going to descend in his dynasty. Krishna is going to come. He didn't want to delay the appearance of Supreme Lord. Srila Prabhupada in the purport, he describes the power of lusty desires. That is, a father is begging his son, I have not yet satisfied my desires. Can you please give me your youth? That is how the desires of this world are, never get satisfied. A father can also shamelessly ask, please give me your youth. There is only one way to satisfy the desires, to serve the Lord, purify it, purify the desires. That is real desirelessness when we serve the Lord. So Hayati, then he went to Turvasu, Druhuyu, and Anu. But they were attached to sense enjoyment. They said, we can't give. Ultimately, he went to his last son, Puru. Puru, he said, who can disobey the order of his father? Father gives everything to child. And by father's mercy, one gets a human body. In this human body, one can become the associate of Supreme Lord. How can I refuse any instruction of my father? There are 4 classes of sons. Uttama chintita kuryat proktakari chamadhama adhama ashraddhaya kuryat akarta uchcharitam pitu. The best son, he understands the mood of the father and he executes the instructions even without being asked. Second class, if he's told, he does it. Adhama ashraddhaya, third class son, he says, pata nahi hai kyun aisa sab kuch bolte rehte hain. He has no faith in the instructions of father. Theek hai, abhi kya kare, he does it. Fourth class is like the urine of the father, rejected person. Third is completely useless. He never executes the order of his father. Puru, he accepted the old age of Yayati. Yayati enjoyed for many, many years, thousands of years. He was the king of 7 islands. He ruled for many, many years with unimpaired senses. Still, he was not satisfied. After 10,000 years, he understood the futility of material enjoyment. He returned his youth to his son Puru, goes to the forest along with Devayani. Devayani also understood. He told a story to Devayani of a goat, of a he-goat. Actually, he told his own story through a he-goat. There was once a he-goat. He was going in the forest. He found a she-goat in a well. He picked out that she-goat. And this whole story, how Devayani and Yati was married. He became attached to that she-goat. But ultimately, other goats or all she-goats were also attracted. He enjoyed with other she-goats. And this she-goat became angry. She went to her previous master. That previous master cursed and cuts off the testicles of he-goat. That's what Shukracharya did. He gave old age to Yayati. That means cutting off the testicles. Ultimately, that master became merciful. He joined the testicles back, enjoyed with his wife for a long time. Then he realized what he has done. He has wasted his time. So Yati, he became renounced. Devayani also became enlightened. She also left. He described the power of lust to Devayani. And in that, he spoke a few very important verses. He said, even if somebody gets everything of this world, yat prithivyaam vrihi yavam hiranyam pashavastriya na duhyanti manapritam pumsak kama hatasyate. Even if somebody gets whatever wealth is there in all the world, Prithivyam, all the animals, all the women, all the gold, still one cannot be satisfied. न जातु कामा कामानाम उपभोगे न शाम्यति हविषा कृष्ण कर्त्मेन वर्त्मेन भूय एवाभिवर्धते. He says, one cannot stop lusty desires by fulfilling and enjoying. These desires can be stopped only by worshipping the Supreme Lord. If somebody endeavors to stop the desires by enjoying, that means it is like putting fuel in the, putting butter or ghee in the fire. The desires never get satisfied. Only if somebody worships the Lord, the lusty desires are so powerful. Then the famous verse comes here. Matra swasra duhitrava na vivikta sano bhavet balavan indriya gramam vidvamsham api na karshati cha karshati. One should not sit in a secluded place, even with his mother, daughter, or sister, because the senses are so powerful. Even a learned man can get distracted. Just see my situation. I enjoyed for thousands of years, but still I am not satisfied. Now I shall meditate on the Supreme Lord. I'll give up all my material desires. Thinking like this, Yayati, ultimately, he became detached. He went to the forest along with Devyani, did tapasya, and perfected his life. So that's the story of Devyani and Yayati. We have discussed few of the kings of Chandravamsha and Suryavamsha. From Brahma, Chandravamsha comes or Suryavamsha also comes. Brahma had his son Marichi. Marichi had his son Kashyap. Kashyap's son was Vivaswan. Vivaswan's son is Shraddhadev. Shraddhadev's son is Nabhaga. His son is Nabhaga. His son is Ambarish. Brahma's son is Atri. Atri's son is Chandra. Chandra's son is Chandra's son is Budha. Buddha's son is Purūravā. Purūravā's son is Ayu. Ayu's son is Nahusha, and Nahusha's son is Yayati. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur makes a very wonderful observation. Both Ambarish and Yayati, they are the 8th in the dynasties of Chandra and Suryavamsha. That means they were there at the same time. Yayati, he got association of Ambarish Maharaj. That's how he got detached. Otherwise, the detachment doesn't come so easily. Unless one associates with great devotees, detachment is impossible. Okay, so now the dynasty of Puru is described because Yayati gave his youth back to Puru and made Puru the king of the entire world. In the lineage of Puru, there was another great king, Dushyanta, famous Dushyanta Shakuntala. Dushyanta, one time he was in the forest hunting. He reached an ashram of a sage, Ganava. He saw a very beautiful lady, proposed her. This lady was also attracted. Her name is Shakuntala. He said, I am getting attracted to you. That means you are surely a Kshatrani. You cannot be a Brahmani. That was the level of mind control people had in the previous ages. Dushyanta, he said, I am getting attracted to you. That means you should be a Kshatrani. And who is Shakuntala? Shakuntala is the daughter of Vishwamitra and Menaka. Gadi's son is Vishwamitra, Kshatriya. Vishwamitra went to do tapasya. He became a Brahmarishi later, but he was a Kshatriya. Then Menaka was sent by Indra. Yeah, and Vishwamitra and Menaka gave birth to Shakuntala, and she left. So she tells, so Dushyanta marries Shakuntala there only. He gives a son to Shakuntala. And the son was such a powerful son. He was the partial expansion of Supreme Lord Hari himself. Dushyanta went back to his kingdom. And after some time, Shakuntala, she approached Dushmanta. So Dushmanta, actually, Bhagavatam mentioned Dushmanta. The world knows him as Dushyanta. Same personality. Dushyanta, he refuses to accept Shakuntala. An unembodied voice spoke from heavens. Oh Dushyanta, please don't become irreligious. The son belongs to a person who has discharged his semen, and you have given son to this lady. This is your son, please accept him. So Shakuntala, she went with her son, and this son is that great king Bharata, on whose name Bharatvarsh is there. Bharata, his glorious activities and his chivalrous deeds are described here. Bharat was such a powerful personality, and he was a partial representation of the Lord. He had a mark of Krishna's chakra on his right palm, and he had a mark of lotus on his soul. That's how he was a very great personality. Ultimately, he was enthroned as a king. He was so powerful that he would control lions also. While playing, he would control lions. In this way, he ruled this kingdom for 27,000 years. He was a great Rajarishi. Then he became renounced, left for the forest. In the dynasty of Bharat Maharaj, there was a king called as Bharadwaj. Bharadwaj story is described. In the dynasty of Bharadwaj, there was another great king called as Rantidev. Rantidev is another famous personality. Rantidev, he is glorified both in heavenly and earthly societies. He was very, very famous, charitable. He was a great, devoted personality, satisfied with whatever he had. One time, he fasted for 48 days along with his family. And when the time of breaking the fast came, a Brahmana came. And he was about to eat. Brahmana requested, begged. He gave all the food to Brahmana. Little bit was remaining. Another Shudra guest came. He gave that also, that Shudra. Then a Chandal dog keeper came. A dog keeper came. He gave something to that dog keeper also. Then a Chandal came. He said, I'm really thirsty. And this Rantidev, he was just about to leave his body because he had not eaten anything. He was thirsty. But he gave that water to Chandal. He offered his prayers to the Supreme Lord. He said, oh my Lord, I don't want anything of this world. Nakamayeham gatimishvarat param ashtardhyuktam apunarbhavam va artim prapadde akhila deva bhaja mantasthito yen bhavantya dukkha. Just like Prithrasur's prayer, Naka prishtam na chaparamishtam na sarvabhaumam na rasadhipatyam. I don't want anything of this world, oh my Lord. I don't want the world. I don't want the wealth. I don't want yoga perfection. I don't want Brahman. I just want to see that all the living entities of this world be freed from the misery and attain perfection. It's like Prahlad Maharaj prayed. Just like Vasudeva Datta prayed. He told Mahaprabhu, Give me the sins of all the living entities of all the worlds. Let them be liberated. I am ready to suffer in hell for unlimited time. And Rantideva offered such beautiful prayers. Suddenly, all these personalities, the Brahmana, the Shudra gaze, the doorkeeper, the Chandal, they all appeared. They were Brahma, Shiva, Indra. They had come to test Rantideva. Rantideva was such a great devotee. Another son of Bharadwaj, one of the sons of Bharadwaj in the dynasty of Bharadwaj is Rantideva. Other son is a personality called as Brihadshatrā. What is so special about Brihadshatrā? His son is called as, his name is Hasti. So Hasti sun ke kya yaad aa raha hai? Hastinapur. So from this king, this city Hastinapur was built. This Hasti had three another powerful sons: Ajamedha, Dvimedha, and Purumedha. So this Ajamedha's dynasty is another great dynasty. Because in the Ajamedha's dynasty, later all the Kshatriyas, all the Yadavas come, all the Vrishnis come. So, sorry, not all the Vrishnis and Yadavas. All the Pandavas and the Kauravas, they come. They come from Kuru dynasty. So Ajmer, one of the descendants of Ajmer was a king named, his name was Sharadwan. Sharadwan met Urvashi once. He discharged the semen. That semen was kept, and that semen transformed into two personalities, one male and one female. That male and female is Kripi and Kripa. Kripacharya and Kripi. Kripi is the wife of Dronacharya, whose son is Ashwatthama. So all the prominent personalities we hear, they have this connection. So then, one of the descendants of Ajamedha was Divodas. In the dynasty of Divodas, Drupada appeared. Drupada is the father of Draupadi and Drishtadyumna. Another son of Ajamedha, his name was Riksha. Riksha's name, one of the descendants was Samavarana. And the Samavarana's dynasty, one of the great king is Kuru. So Riksha's son is Samvara, Samvarana's son is Kuru. He had this Kuru had his dynasty, and his dynasty, after many kings, there was a great king called as Brihadratha. Brihadratha had two wives. One wife gave birth to the famous demoniac king Jarasandha, and other wife had one of the sons. His name is Kushagra. In the dynasty of Kushagra, there was another great personality. His name is Pratipa. Pratipa had three sons: Devapi, Shantanu, and Bahalika. Now we know who is Shantanu. Shantanu is the father of Bhishma Dev, and from Ganga. So Shantanu's story is described. He was a great king in the previous life, Mahabhisha. So he was cursed. Then he appeared as Shantanu. Shantanu was a really powerful king, powerful personality. If you would touch an old man, he would become a young man. And that was the power of Shantanu. That's why Shantanu gave benediction to Bhishma, right? You will not die unless you desire. So Shantanu, he ruled nicely. Once there was no rainfall in the kingdom for 12 years. Shantanu is ruling. And the Brahmanas, they told Shantanu, you had a fault. You acquired the kingdom of your brother Devapi. That's why it is the sin which is troubling your entire kingdom. So there is another story we will not tell how why Devapi was thrown out of the kingdom. Ultimately, Shantanu, he gave the kingdom. He wanted to get Devapi back and make him the king. But Devapi, by now, he was a self-realized, so he didn't want to come back. So Shantanu continued. He became the king. He performed sacrifices. Indra showered rains. Now this Devapi is another personality. We heard the story of Maru in the Surya Vamsha, that Maru will start Surya Vamsha in the next Satya-yuga. Now this Devapi, he is still living. And this Devapi, he will start Chandra Vamsha in the next Satya-yuga. He's still staying in Kalāpa-grāma. So that is the story of Devapi. So Maru will start Surya Vamsha in next Kali-yuga, next Satya-yuga. And Devapi will start Chandra Vamsha in next Satya-yuga. Pratipa had three sons, Devapi, Shantanu, and Bahalika. So Bahalika's son is Somadatta. Somadatta's son is Purūravā. In Bhagavad Gita, when the warriors on the battlefield are described, Pandava warriors, Purūravā, Somadatti, Tathaivacha, Anyecha, Bahava, Shura. So all these kings, they are there on the Kurukshetra war. Purūravā, Somadatta, Puri. Shantanu's dynasty is now described. Now we are aware of the Shantanu's dynasty. Shantanu had two wives, Ganga and Satyavati. From Ganga, he begot Bhishma. Bhishma had no sons, took the vow of celibacy. Then Satyavati, she ultimately got two sons, Chitrangada and Vichitravirya. Chitrangada was killed by Gandharva. Vichitravirya died of tuberculosis. Although he had two wives, Ambika, Ambalika, he could not beget child. Then Ambika, Ambalika, they begot child from Vyasadeva. And from Ambika was born Dhritarashtra. He was a blind king. He had 100 Kauravas. From Ambalika, Pandu was born. 5 sons of Pandu, Pandavas. Then he had Vyasadeva begot Vidurji also, from maid servant of Vichitravirya. So that's how the dynasty of Pandu is described. Pandu had two wives, Kunti and Madari. Kunti had 3 sons, Yudhishthir, Bhim, Arjun. Madari had 2 sons, Nakul, Sahadev. Their dynasty is described. And while describing the dynasty, in the dynasty of Arjun, Arjun's son was Abhimanyu. And O King Parikshit, you are born in that dynasty. And your son is, Parikshit's son is Janmejaya, Shrutasena, Bhimasena, Ugrasena. So that is how this dynasty is described. Parikshit's son is Janmejaya. Janmejaya's son is another personality, Shatanika. Then the dynasty of Shatanika is described. And the dynasty will end. Then some more kings are described in the dynasty of Jarasandha. After describing the sons of Yayati's other sons, now so far Śukadeva Gosvāmī has described the dynasty of Puru. He will now describe the dynasty of Druhyu, Turuvasu, Yadu, and Anu. So in the dynasty of Anu, there was a great king. His name was Shivi. We have heard about Shivi also. He was another great person, was charitable. In the dynasty of Shivi, in the descendants of Shivi, there was a king Rompad. We have heard about Rompad in Ramayana. Rompad, he brought Rishi Shringa because there was no rain in the kingdom. That same story of Rompad. He is one of the descendants of Anu and Shivi. One of the descendants of Rompad is Adhiratha. This Adhiratha was the one who found this baby Karna in a basket in Ganga, brought him, nourished him, and that's how Karna was born. Karna was taken care of. Then Śukadeva Gosvāmī describes the dynasty of Yadu. Now, as he starts describing the dynasty of Yadu, Śukadeva Gosvāmī goes into ecstasy. Because in the dynasty of Yadu, Krishna will be born. This description, Śukadeva Gosvāmī says, this description of the dynasty of Yadu is supremely pious. Anyone who hears the narration of this dynasty, he becomes purified of all the sins. Simply by hearing, one achieves the highest perfection. Varnayami mahapunyam sarva papa haram nrinam yadur vamsha narashrutva sarva papai vimuchyate yatravatirno bhagavan paramatma narakritihi. This dynasty of Yadu is glorified. Varnayami Mahapunyam. This dynasty is the great dynasty in which Lord Krishna appeared. And Lord Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan. He describes. In the descendants of Yadu, there was a great king, Kritavirya, and his son was Kartivirya Arjun. We heard the story of Kartivirya Arjun. He was killed by Purūravā. In the dynasty of Kartivirya Arjuna, many kings come. And Kartivirya himself comes in the dynasty of Hayhaya. So one of the sons of Yadu, his name is Sahasrajit. Sahasrajit's son was Shatajita. Shatajita's son is Hayhaya. And Hayhaya's dynasty, this personality, Kritavirya, appeared. And Kritavirya's son is Kartivirya Arjun. And this Kartivirya Arjun, he was so powerful. Parikshit Maharaj gets a doubt. If the descendants of Yadu were cursed by Yayati, how Kartivirya Arjun became so powerful? Śukadeva Gosvāmī says, because he was blessed by the Dattatreya. So this Kartivirya Arjun, he was very powerful in tapasya, his influence, he was a great charitable person, he had mystic powers, lots of education. He ruled the earth for 85,000 years. He had 1,000 sons. And out of those 1,000, Purūravā killed all of them, but 5. 995 were killed by Purūravā. Those 5 sons are Jayadhvaja. Now, all these are wonderful sons. Jayadhvaja, Shurasen, Vrishabha, Madhu, and Urjita. So, from Jayadhvaja, one of the descendants of Jayadhvaja is Vrishni. Vrishni dynasty, the great Vrishni dynasty. Another son of Yadu is Kroshta. One son is Anu, and one son is Sahasrajit, another son is Kroshta. In Kroshta's dynasty, one personality called Vidarbha appeared. Vidarbha had 3 sons, Kusha, Krata, and Rompad. Rompa, this Rompa is different from the other Rompa we heard. In the dynasty of Rompa appeared another great personality, Shishupal. Shishupal's father was Damaghosh and Shishupal. From Krata, one of the sons of Vidarbha, came another personality, Satvata. Satvata had many sons, 7 sons. One of them was Andhaka. All these names we have heard: Andhaka, Vrishni. Another son of this personality, Satvata, is Mahabhoja. Bhoja dynasty is very famous. Andhaka dynasty is famous. In the dynasty of Vrishni, Akrura also appeared. And another personality in the dynasty of Andhaka is Ahuka. Ahuka's son is Devaka and Ugrasena. Devaka's daughter is Devaki. And many other daughters also he had. Ugrasena's son is Kansa, the great demon Kamsa. Ugrasena had many sons and many daughters. Kamsa was one of them. From Vrishni, Ahuka came, and there was another great king, Chitraratha. In the dynasty of Chitraratha, another great personality appeared. His name is Devamidha. Devamidha had son Shurasena. Now, Shurasena is a very famous personality. Shurasen, he had 10 pious sons headed by Vasudeva. Vasudeva's father is Shurasena. He had 10 sons and 5 daughters. Now, this Devamidha is a very special personality. Devamidha had 2 wives, a Kshatriya wife and a Vaishya wife. From Kshatriya wife, he begot Shurasena, and from Vaishya wife, he begot Parjanya. Shurasena is the father of Vasudeva, and Parjanya is the father of Nanda Maharaj. That's how Vasudeva and Nanda Maharaj, they are connected, they are brothers. So Vasudeva, when he was born, there was a great festival. All the Devtas, they sounded their celestial drums. That's why he was called as Anak Dundubhi. Vasudeva, he had 13 wives. Out of them, 2 are famous, Devaki and Rohini. Rohini had many sons. One of them, the famous personality, the expansion of the Lord, Balaram. Devaki, he had many sons. The 6 sons who were killed by Kamsa. 7, and then the 8th son is Krishna, and he also had one very beautiful daughter, Subhadra. Śukadeva Gosvāmī says, and that highly fortunate Subhadra is your grandmother, O Parikshit Maharaj. And then Śukadeva Gosvāmī starts the wonderful, in brief, description of Krishna. Now Krishna is born. Yada yada hi dharmasya shayo vriddhischa papmanah tada tu bhagavanisha atmanam srijate hari. Same verse. Krishna says, yada yada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharata abhyuthanam dharmasya tadatmanam srijamya. Śukadeva Gosvāmī says, whenever there is decline in religion, the Lord appears to reestablish the principles of dharma. By his own will he appears. And Lord appears to show mercy to all the living entities. He appears so that everybody can get benefited. The Lord, although he performs so many wonderful pastimes in this material world, he is not affected by anything. The Lord has created this material universe for favoring the desires of living entities. It is Krishna's mercy on all the living entities. And after having described Krishna's mercy to people of Kali-yuga, people of Dwapara, when he appeared, how he showed mercy to everybody. Śukadeva Gosvāmī says, Krishna, he appears to show mercy to all the people of Kali-yuga also. How? By giving a chance to glorify his wonderful pastimes. Kalo janishyamānānām dukkha shoka tamonudam anugrahaya bhaktānām supunyam vyatanottanuhu. In Kali-yuga, Kali-yuga is full of shoka, moha, dukkha and tama. Andhakar, ignorance, misery, irreligion, lamentation, distress. Krishna appears to show mercy to his devotees. Supunyam vyatanottanu. He appeared and he spread his glories. Actually, killing the demons is not his actual mercy. Killing of the demons can be done by any avatar. Krishna appears to give mercy to his devotees. Śukadeva Gosvāmī speaks few beautiful verses. Yasmin satkarna piyushe yashastirtha vare sakrit shrotanjalirupasprisya dhunate karmavasana. Please make your ears as the cup of your hands. Shrota anjali. Anjali means cup of hands. कानों की अंजलि बनाओ और क्या पीना है? Just drink the nectar of the Krishna Katha. Yashas tirth vare sakrit. When we drink this nectar from the ears, dhunute karma vasana, the desire to enjoy the things of this world will go away. When Krishna appeared in this world, he performed so many pleasing pastimes. Snigdha smitekshano dharai Vakyair vikramalilaya nilokam ramayamasa murtya sarvangaramya. Snigdha, his affectionate glances. Smita ikshana, his loving smiles. Gentle smile, affectionate glances. Vakyair vikramalilaya, his words, his wonderful astonishing pastimes. They are all ramayam, they are all very pleasing. His body, his beautiful form is most attractive form. Krishnanga lavanyapur madhur hoite sumadhur tate mukha sudhakar madhur hoite sumadhur taha hoite sumadhur tare smita jyotsnavar. Krishna's body is city of beauty. In that city of beauty, the most beautiful part is the lotus face. In that lotus face, Krishna's beauty is incomparable. Nobody gets satisfied seeing the beauty of Krishna. Yasyananam makara kundala charu karna rajat kapola subhagassa vilasahasam nityotsavam na tatripu drishbhi pibantyo naryo narasya mudita kupita nimesha. Krishna's face is so beautiful, decorated with makara kundala. Beautiful earrings, beautiful ears, Rajat Kapoor, very effulgent forehead, very enchanting smile, Vilasahasam. To have the darshan of Krishna is an eternal festival. Nitya Utsava. It is eternal festival. Nobody is satisfied seeing the beauty of Krishna. In the last two verses of this 9th canto, just to test Parikshit Maharaja's eagerness to about Krishna. Śukadeva Gosvāmī summarized the entire Krishna Lila in just 2 verses. Krishna appeared in the dynasty of Vasudeva. Then he left his father's home, went to Vrindavan. He killed so many demons there, came back to Mathura. He killed Kamsa and he killed so many demoniac kings. Ultimately, he gave knowledge to Utsava and then he returned. 2 shlok, that's all over. Śukadeva Gosvāmī is testing. Previously he tested the understanding of philosophy in the 6th canto by describing atonement. Atonement kar lenge. Shri Parikshit asked, how will these people suffering in hell be freed? Oh, karma kandi atonement. Parikshit rejected. Gyan rejected. Bhakti accepted. Here he is testing the eagerness of Parikshit. Third time Parikshit will be tested in the end of 12th canto. Śukadeva Gosvāmī ends the entire narration of Bhāgavatam not with bhakti, but by glorification of jnana. There, Śukadeva Gosvāmī tested the loyalty of Parikshit Maharaj. Śukadeva Gosvāmī, Parikshit Maharaj continued to practice bhakti only. So that's how this 9th canto ends. And from tomorrow onwards, we'll discuss the wonderful stories of Krishna in the 10th canto, the beautiful lotus face of the Lord. Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki Jai. Grantara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam